Hello Magento community. Today I'm happy to showing you how you can extend a checkout at PWA Studio and what are the extension points here, and so let's go. So the main component here is the checkout page. If you speak about the checkout, we have here one-step checkout or one step and different sections, and any section comes back from use checkout. And we have steps like shipping information, shipping method, and our payment information. So there we are. The main component here is payment information. It's responsible for showing a loading indicator. Also, it shows us the summary page if editing is done. This means if I click here on review order and my payment was successful, I'm getting the summary page. This is the summary component. So also we have here payment methods. This is this thing here. This is the wrap-up for any payment method. So this component gets on init. It loads the payment methods from the Magento backend via GraphQL, and then it iterates over the what he gets back from the backend and compare it with a payment collection. This payment collection is built on build time. So if you check out the file in Git, you will find an empty file with a big comment, but you will not see the result. So to check out what is the result here, you need to go to sources, click Command P, or I don't know what is on your OS, maybe Command P or something like that. So, and you search for payment collection. So this file is what we search, and what here we get our imports. First we the target imports the component, and then it builds a thing what we can iterate over and map it between GraphQL and Magento. So cool. Special information about payment components. Payment components getting some special props. I want showing you this now in the code, because we need to take sure to call the right message on, or the right callback on the right time. If you want to learn about callbacks or how the callbacks works in the checkout, please check also my blog post out. It will be published with this video as well. So let's go in the code and see some code. The main entry point about checkmo is our intercept file here. It's registered by the package.json. So here this annotation says the build process, hey, I have a file and I want to extend a PWA Studio build process. So, and then we have here special flags. Special flags enabling us or allowing us to ship different features to Webpack. This means ES modules allows us to having JSX syntax. Without this flag, JSX will not work on your component. It can be tricky to find this bug if you're forgetting about this flag. CSS is to ship CSS, and GraphQL is indeed, GraphQL queries. So, and then the main point here is we want to register our payments. So we get targets back from Venia UI and tapping our payment here. So this code needs to be matched with the result of the backend. If it doesn't match, your component will never ever render, and you're searching a time for it. And this is the path to your component. I recommend to using namespaces or namespace paths here, not relative paths here, because then a yarn, etc. works well. Also, searching path errors can be tricky. So let's proceed. Now we open our checkmo component. This is the UI component. And as already mentioned, we're getting here some special props from outside. We get this 4 props should submit, on payment success, on payment ready, on a payment error, and reset should submit. Oh, sorry, it's 5, not 4. Okay, anyway. So this thing we get from outside, and as already mentioned, we have here some callback methods what we needs to be triggered on the right time, and then the checkout section flow will work as we expected. So let's check out the logic here. First of all, I merge classes. This means I merge my CSS classes with classes what I get from outside. Also, I reset, get, extract, reset, on payment and on payment error from the props, because I'm needing this in my own component here and I want to have a nice handling here. So, and then I'm calling here my hook. What's this about address template? Yeah, it's not really relevant. It's some special thing about addresses here. So basically it's some formatting stuff for addresses. So going back to the check my hook, this is the relevant thing. To describing here, our hooks contains business logic about billing or payment, and every component is really only UI things, and every business logic is wrapped in a hook or in a talent. Yeah, it's something what you need to learn or what you need to understand if you want to adding new business logic, move it in a hook or move it in a talent. So also we're rendering here some JSX template, formatting some message, payable to, format to, etc. So if we go back to the checkout, we see we have here our check money order, and this thing renders a check payable to a check money order and as well a billing address. Currently, each billing address or each payment method contains a own billing address form. So before you can go to this review page, you need to be sure that your payment has a billing address. By default, it doesn't work if you don't set a billing address, so please make sure to set a billing address. You can use the form component billing address. It's currently in development, so this thing you can copy to your extension if you want, already starting building your own component. The rest of checkout is already merged. So basically there is one dependency about GraphQL queries as well, what is maybe hard to test for you or maybe hard to solve for your extension as well. But hey, you can try it to move billing address to your extension. Maybe you need to also moving some GraphQL queries as well, because we had not all things in hooks, so and billing address needs a special call. But anyway, I recommend to try out or build your own payment method. Start not with scaffolding, start with checking out this project and working in a separate folder, and then link it to in a Vina concept. For payment methods, it's totally fine to developing extensions in scaffolding, not in scaffolding, in cloned repositories. For developing themes, please use scaffolding. You will not happy with a cloned thing. Also, if you develop something in a folder here, take care about all files is in the folder, and you doesn't have so much external dependencies to outside. So for that reason, you can start already building your own payment methods, but there are some technical problems or technical things what you need to solve here. So let's take a look in the hook. So not in the test, in the hook. First thing is here merge operation. This is a great pattern if you want to override default operations and any hook, or we try to using this pattern for any hook or any new hook. This allows external dependencies to override operations. This means queries and mutations. I defining here loading the configuration from the backend and set a payment method to the backend. So, and also this pattern is great for testing. You would not happy without override the possibility to override queries in the test, because you make or you want to make sure that your query is not called, etc. And you also want to have a possibility to returning special data in a query case, etc. So if you want to learn more about tests, please check out this test. I try to be clean as possible. Yeah, so one side note here, I'm still a learner. Maybe there are much better test cases in the core, but this is a good reference for starting tests. Also, develop your hooks in TDD. You will be not happy with a performance slow hook. Also, it's very easy in React to develop hooks what are not maintainable or having side effects to your application. And this can be much easier if you test it before you ship to production. And also take your time to write many test cases as possible, because it makes things easier to change later. So this is about testing. So one thing about the GraphQL query. Currently I'm mocking the GraphQL query to getting information back from the backend. So this means if I have an add client annotation at a GraphQL query level or at a GraphQL property, there will be never ever a call to the backend. So I can start already developing some extension, and my backend developer can also start on the same time, and we can defining some queries and we can working together on the same feature. This is really cool if you're working in a bigger team. And also I recommending you, if there is no coverage, already start with a client annotation, mock the data and starting development. Or make sure that your backend developer is already finishing the work. So if you want to learn more about this thing, or more about the work what I did here, I recommending to check out this pull request. It's getting a little bit huge. Also investing around a month to working on it. It's not a month every day, it was like a week work, but over more than a month. So we refactor many things in the checkout. Also I adding new possibilities like billing address. I also try to documentate everything in this blog post or also this video. So and yeah, so also if you want to learn more about targets, I'm recommending to use or check out this blog post. It's a little bit outdated, but because there's a different or a better approach for overriding files for themes now, but still the foundation here, technical strategies, Linear UI extension points, Pinocchio extension points, Bitpack extension point, are still relevant and still good to know. And also some things of here, like how you can create your own extension, etc., is good to know. And if you start to build your own extension, it's already also the same for the checkout thing. You need to register it at Linear concept. I did this here in a package JSON and then I install it via Yarn. So I use here a yarn link command, and this helps to watch, etc. And if I change something in the front end or in the code, it will up to date in the front. So this is all for today. If you're new, please subscribe, and I'm happy if you have any question, you can ping me in Slack, and also, yeah, please share this video. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.